This video demonstrates how to enter shots against. I'd recommend watching the Introduction to Event Entry video before you watch this video, as it covers the basic event entry topics. We'll use the Try It Now feature to help demonstrate. So let's click on the menu, Try It Now, enter game events using a sample game, and we're going to choose shots against, and we also want to choose time to set the period correctly, and hit save. So we're going to switch to the shots tab and shots against, and you'll notice based on the icon we're assigned this role and our name is below, and you'll notice the shots for has no one assigned to it. So the first thing we're going to do is put a goalie in net, so we're going to select the goalie. We're going to verify the time is correct, and by default it's the start of the game. We've got the right goalie set, and this is just going to allow us to Madpuck to correctly determine the time that the goalie was in net, which will be used for the goals against average calculations. And we're going to choose save, and you'll notice our goalie is in the net. At the bottom you can see a log indicating that the goalie was put in net. For goals against, we only want to track the shots that were on the net. A shot on net is a shot that would have gone into the net if the goalie wasn't there. So if the shot is blocked or it hits the crossbar or goes wide, those should not be considered a shot on net, and you should do nothing to track those events. This also includes a shot that is going wide and is saved by the goalie. Since it wouldn't have gone in the net, it shouldn't be counted as a shot against. Sometimes it's hard to tell based on where you're sitting if it was actually a shot on net, and for those cases, just use your discretion. To enter a shot on net, select the location of the shot on the rink. So let's say it's near the top here. The shot details screen will be shown, allowing you to enter more information about the shot. So you can choose the save location, glove, pad, stick, blocker, skate, helmet, or body. And so we're just going to choose a glove save, and then we're going to choose save. On the rink, you'll notice a large black dot that represents the last shot entered, and right below the rink you'll notice the last shot card, which allows you to change the last shot to a goal by pressing the goal button, or undo the last shot by pressing the undo button. Let's look at the shots against stats for the shot we just entered. Scroll down to the shots against section. You'll notice in the first it's 1-0, indicating 1 save and 0 goals. SV is 1 save. SA, or shots against, is 1, and SV% is the save percent, which is 1, since we've made 1 save and 0 goals have gone in. Let's enter another shot. So we're going to click on the rink, and the shot details comes up. You'll notice the goalie has a right-hand glove, which was set when this player was created. You'll also notice that the player is in the standing position and shown from the front. Right above the goalie are 3 controls, which allow you to change how the goalie is shown. The first is the up-down button, which allows you to move the goalie between the up and down position. Keep in mind, you don't have to track these stats, and the first time you track stats, you should probably just assume the goalie is always in the up position or the standing position to keep it simple. But the option is there if this is something you're interested in tracking once you get more familiar with the interface. Next is the left-right arrow, which allows you to switch between the left and right glove. You really shouldn't need to use this for shots against because the goalie defaults to the glove that you set for that player. This is more useful when you're tracking shots for. And the last button allows you to change the perspective of the goalie between the front and rear view. So if you're entering stats from the side of the rink, I'd recommend using the front view. But if you're standing right behind the goalie, the rear view is often a lot easier to manage. Above the goalie, you can see the shot type, and you can select between different shot types: wrist shot, slap shot, backhand shot, one-time shot, and tip. As well as you can set to the shot to be a breakaway or a penalty shot. Now, these values don't actually change the stats at all, but add more color to the play-by-play. So let's save this as is, and scroll down and take a look at the shots against stats again, and we'll see that in the first we now have 2 shots and 2 saves. and our saves is 2, our shots against is 2, and our save percent average is still 1. Now if we look at the rink, you'll notice a green dot, which is the first shot we took, and the larger black dot represents the last shot we took. As well, the last shot against card allows us to convert the last shot to a goal or undo the last shot. Let's add a third shot against. This time we're going to select the goal toggle to mark it as a goal, and we're going to choose the location of the goal. So we're going to say 5-hole and hit save. Now you'll notice a few things here. First is that the goals for the other team are now 1, which is the number that's in bracket. And you'll notice the last shot card indicates goal scored. The last shot card is missing the goal button because we just marked it as a goal, and there is no way to undo the last shot as a goal if it's done from here, but you can go up to the menu and choose edit goals, and then you can see the goal that was just entered. You can select that. You can delete that goal if you want, or you can set the time of goal, the period, who was on the ice, and then save those changes. So we're just going to hit cancel for now and go back. Lastly, you'll notice that the last shot that we marked as a goal is in red now, indicating a shot that was a goal. Now let's take a look at the shots against stats for our goalie. In the first, it's 2-1, indicating 2 saves and 1 goal. The saves is 2, the goals against is 1, the shots against is 3, because there was 2 saves and 1 goal, and the save percentage is .667. Now I'm going to add a few shots quickly to show you the kind of pace that you'd see once you get familiar with interface. So we're going to go shot. It remembers the last perspective. We're going to switch back to the standing position. Glove save, save, shot, blocker save, and pad save, and save. Now I made a mistake on that last shot, and it was actually a goal. So I'm going to choose in the last shot card, I'm going to switch to goal. I'm going to enter the goal location as top right and hit save. You'll notice the score beside the team name changed to 2. And if we switch over to the time tab, you'll notice the score is 0-2. You might have noticed that the time is 0 and all the stats have been entered in the first period. If you have another parent tracking the time, they will ensure that the period and the time is set correctly. But if it's just you, make sure you sign up for the time entry, which we did at the beginning as well, and at least make sure that the period is set so that the shots are tracked against the right period. Ideally, you would also start and stop the time, especially if you have other fans that are watching the game, although it doesn't matter too much for the stats, but would ensure that the goal times are set correctly. Now let's switch back to shots and take a look at some settings. Once you've entered shots for a few games, you might be looking for a way to speed up the shot entry settings. So let's choose menu and shot entry settings, and we're going to turn on quick entry and choose save. So now when we enter a shot, previously if you selected blocker or pad or stick, you'd have to hit save in order to commit those changes. Now if you click blocker, because of the quick entry settings, it automatically commits the shot. So now you can actually sort of quickly go in and mark shots without having to hit save. So that saves a little bit of time. This does mean that when you're entering a shot, you must choose the goal, breakaway, penalty shot, and shot type before you select the save location, since it will commit the shot right away. So let's choose breakaway and stick save. Now let's look at another setting. You might have noticed that a pad save includes both pads. If you want even more detail, you can select between the left and the right pad individually. So let's go to the settings, shot entry settings. We're going to turn off quick entry, and we're going to turn on specific location for pad saves and choose save. And we're going to enter a shot. And now when we choose the pads, you're choosing them individually instead of separately. So we're going to choose save. Let's enter a couple more shots. Let's enter one in the down position and the other pad and choose save. When you first start using MatPuck, you might want to enter less data until you're comfortable with the interface, or maybe you're just not concerned with the saved location. In that case, you can avoid entering the shot details altogether. So we're going to choose the menu, shot entry settings, and we're going to turn off shot entry details and click save. Now when we enter a shot, we're choosing the rink location of the shot, but the shot details screen doesn't come up and we can't set the save location on the goalie. Now you'll notice after a while that the rink image becomes a little bit crowded with the shots. We can change that by clicking on the menu, shot entry settings, and then currently by default, show all shots is shown. And we're going to switch this to show current period shots and click save. And now if we go back to the time tab and we change to period 2, now you'll notice that the rink image is cleared because all the shots that were recorded so far are for period 1 and we're now in period 2. So if we enter a couple new shots, you can see that the new shots that are taken in period 2 are still shown, but the previous period 1 shots are hidden. Let's take a look at the save and goal location information that we've entered so far. So from the menu, we're going to choose shots. And so you can see we can select between shots for and shots against, saves and goals. So you can see the goals, we've had 1 5-hole and 1 top right. If we choose saves, we can see the location of the saves on the goalie for each save location in the up position, and then in the down position, you'll recall we entered 1 save on each of the pads. So let's close this off. And if we look at the team shots tab here, or stats, you can see the BLDE team, which is the other team, has 23 shots in the first and 3 shots in the second for a total of 26 shots. Those would represent the shots against, and for our team, we haven't been tracking shots for, so everything's currently registered as 0. And finally, let's take a look at the play-by-play for the shots that we've been entering. So if we go to the menu, we can access plays. And if we scroll up to the top, you can see that the first item there is goalie in, which is when we put the goalie in the net. And then you can see we've got a bunch of shots against or saves by our goalie. And you can see that the save location is highlighted with the icon. We had a couple goals. And then at the bottom here, when we're entering shots against but not recording the location, there's nothing highlighted because we don't have that information. One last thing to keep in mind is how the scoreboard is updated with goals and how the goals are officially logged. If you're tracking shots and no one else is tracking goals, when you enter a shot and mark it as a goal, the scoreboard is updated and the goal is logged. This is the behavior we saw earlier in the demo. So to go over that again, somebody is tracking shots, which is us. Nobody's tracking goals. If we enter a shot and we mark it as a goal and hit save, you'll notice the score updates from a 2 to a 3, and you'll notice the shot is marked as a goal. If we look over at the scoreboard, you can see the score has been updated on the scoreboard. And if we look at the goals, you can see the goal is officially logged. There's nothing else to do once we've marked it as a goal in this case. If you or somebody else is tracking goals, then when you enter a shot as a goal, the goal isn't officially logged and the scoreboard is not updated until the goalkeeper adds the goal in the goals tab. If you are tracking both shots and goals, make sure to add the shot and mark it as a goal, which will give you the goal location on the rink. Then also add the goal in the goals tab, which will update the scoreboard and officially log the goal with full details. So again, notice we're only responsible for shots right now and not goals. We're going to change this to take over the goals entry. And then we're going to add first the shot. We're going to mark it as a goal and hit save. Now you'll notice the score does not change from 3 to 4. And if we go to edit goals, you can see the goal is not officially logged. At this point, whoever's tracking goals, in this case it's us, would go over to the goals tab, mark the goal down, indicate who is on the ice, update the time of goal the type of goal, shorthanded, power play, penalty shot. Let's say even strength. Click add, and now the score will be updated from a 3 to a 4. You can also see in shots it's gone to a 4, and in the scoreboard it's gone to a 4 as well. Now this prevents the scoreboard from being updated twice. If this is a little bit confusing, just remember, if you sign up for a role, shots, goals, time here, make sure you always enter the information when that event happens, and MadPuck will ensure the scoreboard is correctly updated. That's it for this demo. Check out our other videos which go into detail on each of the event entry roles. Thank you for your interest in MadPuck, and we'll see you at the rink.